Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Got my tea. This cup is so cool, you guys. Look at this. It's like a heat cup. My grandparents gave it to me. Anyways, this is a serious video. As you guys can see by the title, it's about self-doubt, anxiety, and depression. All things that I've personally dealt with. Also, I just want to put a little disclaimer out there that this may not work for you, and I don't want to say that this is the way to do it. I just want to share my experience and really just what's worked for me. So ignore the clickbait. This is not the only way to deal with this stuff. A little backstory of my experience. I moved to LA when I was 18. Everything was amazing when I first got here. And I was so happy. I was busy. I was meeting new people. And I think that happens a lot. Like when you first move, it's just so much fun and so many experiences, so much good food. For some reason, just along the line, I don't know if it was just a mix of having that pressure of having to survive here and jumping from job to job and living situations and all of that. It's hard not having family here. Moving from downtown, I moved to the valley in March, thinking that, oh, it'd be nice to get like a little space from the city, but still be in LA. It has been that, but it's also just, I don't know, it's just been a huge culture shock coming from like a small town. Just a lot of different things kind of piled up. I can tell that I just have not been myself, and I've been trying to like stay positive, and I'll have really good days, but like majority of it has kind of just been hard. I think I've almost felt like it's not okay for me to feel that. And I mean, I used to be one of those people that thought anxiety was like this made up thing. And it's just a thing in your brain that you can like turn off. And like, I would say even in the past like few months, I've finally, I think, felt what that feels like. And it's terrifying. I'll be doing literally like normal things and all of a sudden just like fear, like feel all this fear out of nowhere. So I can tell like it's a serious thing, and it's just not fun to live with on a day-to-day basis. In your early 20s, you're just figuring life out, and it's very, very, very common to deal with stuff. There's a lot of pressure and there's a lot of things you're figuring out. So that gives me some relief knowing that like I'm not the only one. Starting off though, I definitely still recommend all of like this normal stuff for depression and anxiety and self-doubt. Seeing a therapist is really, really good. Making sure to talk to people that know and love you. Basic stuff like surrounding yourself with good, positive people that are going to encourage you. Another little tip, if you guys want to check this out, my friend recommended this to me and I didn't know anything about it, but St. John's wort is a really good supplement to take that helps with depression, and I usually just take like 2 or 3 a day. When I'm going through stuff, it's not something you have to be on like all the time, but you can get it at like Whole Foods. Or this is what it looks like. It's a natural supplement, it's a herbal natural thing. And that gives me some peace of mind as well, knowing that I'm like treating my body with like good, healthy things, making sure you're eating healthy and taking vitamins, exercising regularly, getting enough sleep, general self-care stuff. Journaling is like super important, even when you don't feel like it. Sometimes you just have to let yourself have a break, but like doing the things that you love to do, whether that's art, journaling, writing, just small little hobby stuff. But you know, you can find all of that stuff anywhere, and I kind of just want to share some personal things that I think would help. So let's get right into it. To start off, number one, so important. Most of the time when you're dealing with depression, anxiety, self-doubt, you really don't know why. And yes, you can blame it on what's around you. You can blame it on your job. You can blame it on people. You can blame it on all of these things. Regardless, like that's not going to help anything. The most important thing you can do is just accept the way that you're feeling. Whatever you're feeling, like whether that's scared or sad for literally no reason at all, let yourself feel that. It's okay if you need to cry, run to the bathroom and cry. I don't know why it's happened so much for me this year, literally just like random stuff, and I will like just feel really, really sad and like really, really scared or like whatever. Don't pressure yourself. You're doing amazing and you're still loved, and just give yourself a hug and pat yourself on the back. Just because no one else is doing that doesn't mean that you're unworthy or unloved. You have no idea what's going on. It could be even just hormone levels, balance, like health stuff. There's so much going on that you don't always know. So like, don't blame yourself. Don't get mad at the way that you're feeling because it's valid. Accept yourself. Number 2, I'm a very intuitive person. And how do I say this in like a not weird way? Like if someone's mad, you can tell when someone's mad, just by little things that they're doing. I've noticed with a lot of like what I've been feeling, it's like it could be just stress that I'm picking up from people around me. Like I don't even know. Like maybe I'm just like feeling what other people are feeling and it's not even mine. Like I don't actually feel that way, but because I'm sensitive and I respond to people, and that is always a thing to note. Just if you're feeling a certain way, like who knows what that's from. Going along with that, a lot of the stuff you're dealing with could be just stuff from your past, like past experiences that maybe had a huge impact on you and you just like have neglected or like refused to look at, or maybe you've recognized it but it just hasn't gone away. It's hard because I think a lot of times like those things from your past, like if they're really defining moments, that stuff sometimes will carry with you like the rest of your life and you might not even realize it. But it's so important to take a look at that and take time to kind of realize like, okay, in this situation I'm feeling fearful. Is it because stuff from my past is like being brought up and I'm like triggered? Or like whatever the case, like knowing your triggers and knowing that you might not be looking at it in the right light. Like whatever you're dealing with, it might not be what your brain just kind of tells you it is, because if you've kind of dealt with like fear and past stuff, it's like your brain automatically will make assumptions about what you're experiencing. Having that check-in and that little like, that's why I think having a relationship with God is so important. I'll get to that later, but being able to like step back and be like, okay, why am I feeling the way that I'm feeling? Number 3, this one's like my ultimate favorite of everything. I'm usually a very, very optimistic person, but I can tell that this past year and a half, I've probably been just not myself in that sense, where I'm kind of only seeing the negative. The best thing that has really helped me, it's like anytime that I start to doubt myself or have these voices in my head that's like, oh, you're stupid and like you're ugly and all of this stuff, I just kind of start to laugh about it. Even if like this is what someone else is thinking of me, so what? Not taking life so seriously. It's just seeing the light of day. And people can be mean and like people are rude and mean and whatever, and like there's a lot that you can't do about it. But I mean, I know that I'm a very sensitive person, but just trying to take the lighter approach and the brighter perspective, letting things go, not taking things so seriously and so personally, laughing about it. I've been trying to be better about that before my mind starts like spiraling, because that happens so much. But just stopping myself and being like, what's the worst that could happen? Regardless, it is funny. Life is just funny. And I would rather live a fun, crazy, funny life than live a dark, serious, like strict one. Number 4, this is something I've tried to do more recently. A majority of your adult life, if you're single, is going to be spent alone. And I mean, yeah, if you have friends, whatever, but there are those moments where you are alone. And it can be the most scariest thing, or it can be like the best thing. It's about the way you're viewing it, and there is such a thing as self-love, and there's such a thing as like connecting with God and realizing like, you know what, you are loved. So if I'm loved, how would I want to be treated? How would I want to treat myself? For me recently, that's been like setting up my room a little bit nicer so that I have somewhere I can come home to. That doing those little small things, getting your nails done, whatever that is that like helps you feel empowered and just good about yourself. You're meant to feel good about yourself. God created us to feel good about ourselves. He doesn't want us to like beat ourselves up all the time. It's very easy for us to take that approach when you're holding on to like a lot of pain and whatever. And I recommend too in those times, like not just going to things like Netflix and binge eating. Because that's happened to me a lot this year. I haven't realized that like I can use that time to better myself. I'm gonna take advantage of this time right now to really just love myself, and because it's the only time that I can, and why not, you know? Like I don't like I know there'll be days where I'm complaining about having a bunch of people around me. So before I get to that, I'm just gonna appreciate this time where I can spend on myself and like just live my life. And this last one, number 5, is kind of general. It's basically just like, don't force yourself. If you feel like you can't do it, like I think it's definitely like, don't give up, still go and still show up, but it's okay if you can't always give it 100%. I know everyone's like, give it 100%. Even giving 75%, giving 10%, you're still giving something. You're still showing up. Don't force yourself any more than you are. And if you do, that's okay too. You know, it's all going to be used to your benefit if you look at it like that. Like any kind of up or down you can use to help better yourself and grow and learn from. Trusting the process. And this is why God is so important to me, because I know there is hope in Him and things might not make sense right now, but I trust God and I know that everything works out for His good. There is beauty in following God's plan for your life, and you will see the fruit of that. And understanding that you are a unique, different person than everyone else around you, and that's okay. You're growing, you're learning, you're young, and no one really has it figured out yet. All this to say, self-doubt, depression, and anxiety, it does stem from a mental thing, and I guess a mental disorder, just all of this stuff, you know, like it is a mental thing for sure. And you can treat it with things like medication and whatever, but this is just some stuff that's helped me. I think also like taking the advice that people give to you, if that advice that they give you makes you feel good, I would say take that and run with it. It doesn't have to always be the advice that would work for someone else. Whatever works for you, whether that's from a YouTube video or a billboard sign in Hollywood, or like whatever that little thing of advice that helps you. For me, it's just Bible verses and connecting with God and doing like devotionals. I understand that doesn't work for everybody. Some people's like, that's too religious. For me, it works, but for other people, it doesn't, and that's fine. Just taking those small little things of advice that actually do make you feel good and being open to trying new things. Anyways, long video, but yeah, I just wanted to be really honest with you guys because it's been hard. I've gone to places in my mind that I just never thought would exist, and I thought I already had my dark moments. I thought those were behind me, but you know, we're human. We're always dealing with stuff on this journey called life. At the end of the day, I want you guys to know that you are not alone. You are loved. You're amazing. Don't give up. Keep going. Life will get better. I promise you. Don't lose hope. It's all gonna work out. Hang in there. I'll see you guys in my next video.